You know, he's another guy, and we have Baldy on every week, and I trust Baldy. I trust Crocker. I trust guys who will play the game and know how to diagnose film and break it down and convey it to the consumer. Steven Ruiz, I don't know what his qualifications are from the Ringer, but Steven Ruiz is not impressed with anything Brock Purdy's doing. Check this minute out, Roasters. Check this minute out what Steven Ruiz had to say about Brock Purdy.
I'm sorry. I watched the film, and he's not doing anything. He's running the offense well, and I get the argument that he's a good quarterback for this system, and he's the right quarterback for this system. And then I get yelled at when I rank him 25th. Here's my thing: I'm ranking these quarterbacks not based on their suitability for the Kyle Shanahan system. I'm ranking them based on what they would do in a normal offense, like a league average offense. And if we put Brock Purdy in the league average offense, this game isn't going to lead to top of the league results. The play that made me lose my mind this week was he threw a pass downfield to Brandon Ayuk over the middle of the field. It was probably 30 yards downfield. It was into double coverage. He underthrew the ball by about 10 yards. The Cardinal safety, number 34, overran the ball. He couldn't find it in the air, and then Ayuk tracked it down and caught it. And 49ers Twitter is celebrating this throw. Like when he went to throw the pass, he knew the Cardinal safety was going to overrun it. He knew it. And he knew Brandon Ayuk was going to realize and track the ball and cut off his route short and get it. And that's why he threw it short. He did it on purpose, which is ridiculous.
Oh, my God.
All right.
God. My head's going to explode.
All right. I got one more for you.
My head's going to explode.
I got one more for you. Here's the cherry on top.
The game is, can the 49ers win the Super Bowl like this?
They can't.
You think they can't?
No.
I think
just
they can.
Goes against... If they do, I'm done. I'm not covering the sport again. If they win it with Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold, sure, I can get on board with Sam Darnold, not Brock Purdy.
So he believes
what?
in Sam Darnold more so than he believes in Brock Purdy. He believes in Sam Darnold more so than he believes in Brock Purdy.
In the words of young Guido, who's out there somewhere right now, get this guy out of here. I mean, seriously, what are we doing? Okay, have you ever played sports at any level? When a guy's back's turned and you're going to go try to make a pass to someone they're defending, that means green light time.
Right.
If your back is turned to me, most people don't have eyes behind the back of their head. They're not going to make plays. Now, Draymond is such an instinctual, great basketball player. He's one of the few guys that can turn around and still steal that ball.
Right.
Ed Reed is an instinctual player as a safety who, even though his back is turned as he's chasing someone, can still contort his body, turn around. The essence of any sport is making a play with someone with their back turned and anticipating that your guy's going to make a play. Single coverage, triple coverage, double coverage. It doesn't matter. How many Jerry Rice plays did we watch from Joe Montana where he's throwing Jerry into drama? He's throwing him into drama.
Right.
But it's so pinpoint accurate. The ball hits Jerry Rice right where he evades any huge collision. That's quarterbacking. Tell me you never played sports in your life without telling me you never played sports before. Then to have faith in Sam Darnold. I mean,
more faith in Sam Darnold than Brock Purdy. So
where does that come from?
Steven Ruiz is the 2023 Adam Rank. Remember Adam Rank, NFL Network, and he's apologized, but NFL Network, he said the Niners were going to win 3 games in 2019, and he was just they stink. They're not that good. He is the 2023 Adam Rank. Because Steven Ruiz, I didn't know who he was until 2 months ago, and he came out with his quarterback tears. The only quarterback tears I care about is Mike Sanders on The Athletic. That's all that matters to me. Steven Ruiz, I didn't know who he was. I still don't know who he is.
Well, I'll tell you who he is. He's one of the many people on the Ringer unqualified to talk about sports. And there's lots of them. Kevin O'Connor for basketball. I don't know how, just because Bill Simmons tried to prop this dude up, now he becomes a basketball expert.
That's right. He has Mac Jones 20th in his quarterback rankings. Oh, God. 5 spots ahead of Brock Purdy.
Of course he does. Look, beat. Remember during the mid-2000s when everybody was a rapper?
Including you?
Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We've gotten to the point now, every single person thinks they're an expert. Every single person has a microphone at home and has created a YouTube page and a podcast. Look, I'm one of them. All right, I admit it.
Right.
It takes one to know one. Just because you can speak into a microphone doesn't mean I need to listen to what you have to say.
Yeah. I know people say that about us, too.
Oh, that's fine. They're more than welcome. There's a guy in Philadelphia who can't keep our name out of his mouth.
Yeah, the
and
little
keeps
fella.
posting. Yeah,
the little fella.
Who's
the
been
little
accused
guy.
of having fake Twitter accounts as well.
Yeah, the little fella. He's got, the Napoleon complex. It's all good. And look, we'll have some fun with that. Heel saying that Philly fans love him the most. That's fine. We walked ourselves into that one. It didn't go our way, but you know what? That's fine. That's how T.O. feels. That's how he feels. I can't stand Philadelphia, and I'm glad they were able to get a jolt out of that, which I knew they would. Actually, I told the boss man, send it to Philadelphia. Let them have fun. Let's go ahead and send it to them. Here's some free content. Get our numbers up. People know who we are out there.
So I guess apparently, even though Brock Purdy outplayed Dak Prescott in a playoff game that mattered with the season on the line, means
matter.
absolutely nothing.
It doesn't mean anything.
Can we all agree that the variables of that playoff game were very similar? Dallas got a great roster. The Niners have a great roster. And yet, we could all see with our two eyes, Purdy outplayed Dak. It was very obvious to me. And you're going to say that Brock is X, Y, and Z in a basic offense? What are we doing?
Here's the other thing.
What are we doing?
Here's the other thing.
He couldn't
here's the other thing that kind of grinds my gears a little bit. And it's the wildest hypothetical that we do in sports, and we have no idea how it would work. If Brock Purdy played in the other offense, he wouldn't be as effective, which is why the Niners drafted him, albeit the last pick of the draft, and nobody else did.
If Draymond...
Teams select players based off how they feel like that player will adapt to their system that they run. Whether it's Chicago, Dallas, Jacksonville, who knows? Kansas City, they draft players that fits their system or they think that fits their system. So let's kill the argument that Brock Purdy wouldn't be good in that offense or that. He's in this offense. He's in the Shanahan offense. And right now in the Shanahan offense, the Niners have dropped 30, 30, 30, and 35. And he had one incompletion last week.
Ask the players who they like.
He hasn't lost a regular season game. But when somebody says, I have more faith in a guy who went, 5 of 13 or 5 of 15 in the last game with the Carolina Panthers and threw for less than 50 yards.
Seen ghosts.
And he sees ghost. You have more faith in him than the guy who just had one completion in the football game.
Well, we do this with Draymond Green, not us. I'm saying nationally. Well, if Draymond had started his career off with the Kings, well, he didn't.
Right.
And he's here. And here's the other part. You're not allowing for the evolution of his game because if he played on another team, he'd be a different version of himself.
Right.
That's the other thing that people never allow in these situations, right? We never can even comprehend it. We've now seen Kevin Durant with Steph Curry, without Steph Curry. His game evolves. He's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
He's
no
pretty
doubt.
good.
He talked about that underthrow, that deep pass.
It's just,
How many times have you seen Aaron Rodgers make that throw?
a million.
Devontae Adams doubled. He underthrows it just slightly to where Devontae Adams is the only guy who can get it.
Yes. He has to make an adjustment, and you know that the DB won't be able to make that adjustment with the same speed.
How many times I saw that with Antonio Brown and Ben Roethlisberger?
Wes Welker and Tom Brady?
I mean, Tom Brady and Randy Moss.
We saw Devontae. I hate to do this. We saw Devontae and Jimmy Garoppolo, for crying out loud, do this.
Right. Be the double team.
Yeah.
Underthrowing a double.
And it wasn't a great throw.
So that's what we're dealing with. So is Sunday's game big? Well, it just got bigger.
Why?
And Brock's walking into that locker room saying, boy, I got to go out here and shine again. Now, Brock doesn't care. I'm sure Brock doesn't care. I'm sure the players doesn't care. But now the players are sitting there thinking, oh, we got some more motivation. We have some more. We have something else to prove now. Sunday Night Football. We beat up on the Cowboys 2 straight years. We've ended our season for 2 straight years. We're at home. We haven't turned the ball over. We're playing some really good football all around, with the exception of Jake Moody and 2 kickoffs going out of bounds. But he's perfect on his field goals and his extra points, and yet there's something else out there. So and honestly, what Steven Ruiz said, that he has more faith to Sam Darnold leading his team to a Super Bowl, and he doesn't see it with Brock Purdy. January is going to be the ultimate test. This is just another stepping stone to get to January, but boy, that feather in the cap for Brock Purdy on a Sunday night, national audience, people are looking to see him fail.
It's as if the Dallas game didn't happen. It's as if the second half against the Seahawks wasn't incredible.
No.
Do the playoff games not matter?
No. People forget selective memory.
It reminds me a lot, and I'm not saying that he's Steph Curry, but it reminds me a lot of how we talked about Steph Curry.
So here we go. 510 Comcast Business Sex Line. Aaron Rodgers never made that throw. Okay, maybe I'm just seeing things. Maybe I'm just seeing things. I just okay.
So here, let me flip it. Does anyone out there think that Sam Darnold will look exactly as good as Brock Purdy?
Yeah, that.
No.
Here again,
no,
Steven Ruiz.
okay, maybe you think he'd be good.
Again.
Does anybody think? Just let me pick one. Kenny Pickett. Does anyone think Kenny Pickett in this system is going to look better than Brock Purdy?
No.
We've seen Kenny Pickett.
No,
he would look better than he does maybe in Pittsburgh, but no one's saying he's going to look good. How could you get much better than what Purdy's doing? We're talking about a small list of guys that could look better than Purdy in this system.
The game is, can the 49ers win the Super Bowl like this?
They can't.
You think they can't?
No.
I think
just
they can.
goes against. If they do, I'm done. I'm not covering the sport again. If they win it with Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold, sure, I can get on board with Sam Darnold. Not Brock Purdy.
Unbelievable.
So how did Jalen Hurts go from a guy that none of us thought could throw to a year later being the MVP, and it's unanimous that we believe in them to be a Super Bowl contender no matter what?
Yeah,
and yet we won't bestow that same credit toward Brock Purdy. He's a year 2 quarterback. He's a year 2 quarterback who has been unbelievable, and he is still getting better.
And he said he watched the film. Again, here's the full quote.
I watched the
film. He watched the film. Purdy's not doing anything special.
I'm sorry. I watched the film, and he's not doing anything. He's running the offense well, and I get the argument that he's a good quarterback for this system, and he's the right quarterback for this system. And then I get yelled at when I rank him 25th. Here's my thing: I'm ranking these quarterbacks not based on their suitability for the Kyle Shanahan system. I'm ranking them based on what they would do in a normal offense, like a league average offense. And if we put Brock Purdy in the league average offense, this game isn't going to lead to top of the league results. The play that made me lose my mind this week was he threw a pass downfield to Brandon Ayuk over the middle of the field. It was probably 30 yards downfield. It was into double coverage. He underthrew the ball by about 10 yards. The Cardinal safety, number 34, overran the ball. He couldn't find it in the air, and then Ayuk tracked it down and caught it. And 49ers Twitter is celebrating this throw. Like when he went to throw the pass, he knew the Cardinal safety was going to overrun it. He knew it. And he knew Brandon Ayuk was going to realize and track the ball and cut off his route short and get it. And that's why he threw it short. He did it on purpose, which is ridiculous.
I feel dumber after having heard that.
I just don't. Why? I mean, you put Tom Brady in the league average offense like his last season in New England. Guess what? He didn't look like Tom Brady.
No, not even close.
All right. Deshaun Watson, does he look like Deshaun Watson right now? The one we saw before?
Not really.
Not even close, right? Not even close. All right? So stop with this.
There are not 25 quarterbacks better than Brock Purdy right now.
How's Russell Wilson doing in Denver? I saw it the last game.
Oh, yeah, everyone's saying he's looking good. He's much better than the numbers. I disagree.
How does Justin Fields look in a league average offense? Not good. Mac Jones, not good. Now, he may not be good. He just may not be good. But it's just lazy to say, well, let me go put Brock Purdy into the offense with the New York Giants. Well, of course he's not going to look good. He doesn't have an offensive line.
No, I'm convinced.
Saquon's hurt.
But I'm convinced he'd look better than Daniel Jones.
Right, but
I'm convinced.
Well, I don't think he survived there.
Oh, maybe, but you know what? I don't think highly of Daniel Jones. I do not think Daniel Jones in our system would look better than Brock Purdy at all. I don't believe it.
Well, I don't believe that either.
Okay,
I don't believe that either. But this whole thing that you put him here and he's not there. He's here.
Exactly.
And right now, with Shanahan and Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel and George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk and Rodney Bell and Ray McLeod and Jawan Jennings, he's been pretty damn good. He's been pretty damn good. So, Steven Ruiz, if the Niners win the Super Bowl with Brock Purdy, he said he'll never cover sports again. Well, this is a fan base that will hold you to that if the Niners do win the Super Bowl. But you lose me when you say I have more faith in Sam Darnold than I do Brock Purdy.